But today's consumer sentiment report shows Americans are not feeling it. Sentiment plunged to 50.3 in November. That's the lowest level in 3 years. So what's going on? Obviously, the government shutdown doesn't help. Maybe it's the messaging. Maybe it's the media, as the president said today. Maybe it's the big focus on faraway issues. While many Americans are left asking why a lot of their food still costs so much. Maybe it's time to stop arguing over far-off problems and start talking about what hits Americans every day, their wallets. And that's exactly what we're tackling today with Patrick Mueller, RFC, president of Bella Advisors. Patrick, you know, it's just frustrating to hear so much about issues thousands of miles away while Americans are like, hello, hey, what about me? What does today's consumer sentiment report tell us about how families are feeling in their everyday lives?
People are hurting in their pocketbooks, Alicia, and we've seen this over the last few years. Inflation just hit everybody so hard that people are trying to combat inflation daily, and especially your lower income earners and median income earners, especially whether it's at the grocery store, retailers, I mean, just trying to keep their heads above water. I mean, you seriously have people refinancing out of their 2-3% mortgages, which those rates sound like a dream today, but they're refinancing into 6 and 7+% mortgages right now to get down that credit card debt and to try to keep their heads above water. So it's going to be really interesting moving forward of this debt bubble. We're at all-time highs with credit card debt, just when this bubble is going to pop. Nobody seems to be talking about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it because household debt, you're right, is near record highs right now. People just want to get out of that debt finally. It's not happening. Major companies like Amazon, Intel, UPS are cutting tens of thousands of jobs as well. How does this, combined with the debt pressures, shape our economy going into the future, and especially going into the midterms?
It's really scary, and the Republicans better get their act together, and the administration better get their act together of getting this into the right frame, because it's going to paint a picture for the Democrats. If these ratings stay low, these sentiment reports stay low, that's not going to be good, and we definitely don't want to see that moving forward. We want to put people's money back into people's pockets, and you've got AI. That's such a big thing right now, where you're having all these big downsizings right now because AI is going to be eliminating so many jobs. So you're going to see a lot like a white-collar bloodbath, unfortunately, in the next few years. But that's also really good for blue-collar folks, for plumbers, electricians. AI is not going to replace that stuff. So, you know, people that are going to college right now need to be really thinking about that trajectory and getting themselves positioned, because, you know, where there's detriment in certain things, there's opportunity that we need to pay attention to for people.
No doubt the workforce will be shifting in the future with AI, that's for sure. But, you know, when you look at the numbers on paper, gas prices down, the inflation has come down since it was at its all-time high under Biden. So what is it the messaging?
I think so. There's been so many ups and downs this year, Alicia, that you've got Trump with Liberation Day and the markets went down 20%, and then they've come back and, you know, tariffs are on, tariffs are off, and there's just been so much negotiating that I feel like it's just got people shell-shocked a little bit, and they don't have a real clear outlook, I don't think, as to where things are going to be heading, because the growth of companies right now, the earnings of companies are really good. We just saw a lot of awesome earnings that have been coming out here recently. So there's a lot of stuff that's really solid and really good that's happening right now.
Yeah.
But when it comes to people's pockobooks, they're not really feeling it, and you got people putting more money into gold and precious metals and things like that, because they're fearful of what's going to be happening here in the near future.
We need to keep the focus on that, the conversation around that, the economy, our money, our wallets, the American dream. Let's talk about that and explain how that's going to happen. Patrick Mueller, RFC, president of Bella Advisors. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Alicia. Great to see you.
You got it.